Hi friends. So today we are discussing about log shipping. So you know that log shipping is one of the high availability solution. So here we create a infrastructure for log shipping. We have already have a domain controller whose IP address is 192.168.1.1 and the name of domain controller is SQL lab.local, and I have created two node 1 and node 2 whose IP address is 192.168.1.2 and the second node IP address 192.168.1.3. I have already installed these two SQL instances, that is node 1 oblique log 1 and node 2 oblique log 2. So where we use log shipping, basically log shipping are used in that environment where data replication is not so frequent, the data updation is not so frequent, so it is that beneficial in that case. If it is frequent data updation, so there is a gap, there is a latency between data updation, because on a default time interval, if we talking about log shipping default time interval, it's a 15 minute, or we can change it at depend upon requirement. So if suppose I said that 5-minute time interval for log backup, copy and restoration, so in case it is, if it is there like frequent data updation, so at any point if there is a crash happening, so if it is a crash happening, so we can lose 5-minute data. So in our environment, like we have created, already have a domain node 1 and node 2. So let's see, this is my domain controller 192.168.1.1. So as you can see that I have already created a user for so I just go through that user and computer. So first I have just created these two node 1 and node 2, and I will join the domain controller. I have created three user like SQL1, SQL2, and there is one user SQL SVC SQL. So I have used SVC SQL as a service account, okay, and these three user I have just grouped as a SQL DBA. So if we provide permission to the SQL DBA, so that permission will replicate to these three user ID, okay. So now I'm just connecting my node 1. The IP address is 192.168.1.2. So here if you if I open the I open the configuration manager, SQL Server manager 15.msc. so you can see here, this is my services, and here you can see that this is my server log1. So here if you just check that the user ID which is I have used for service account, that is SQL Lab SVC SQL Server. So like before we start the servicing, I already mentioned here that we need, once the LogShipping is configured, there are three jobs. One is used for alert, but primarily there are three jobs. One is used for backup, which is created on node 1, that is primary server, and copy and restoration, these two jobs created on node 2, and sorry, it's node 2 only, there is no node 3. So just we first do the one thing. I have just created there is a shared drive I've just created here, that is used called log backup. So I have just created a folder log backup here, and I have just provide the SQL DBA, that is security. I just go to the edit and I just add my SQL DBA. This is my group, and I have just provide, either I just provide the SVC, only the SVC SQL, but here I just provide this group only. So I just provide the read write, and I just this only read write permission. I just provided SQL Lab backup I've just created. Okay, so I have just if I can access like that node 1 dot, so you can find out the log backup here. Okay, so what I did first, I just click on edit, I just provide the SQL Lab, that is my group in which SQL 1, SQL 2 and SVC SQL, these three ID exist. So I just provide the read write permission here. So why I am doing this? I am doing this because once a backup is created, so that backup is generated on this server. So the service account of SQL, here the service account is SVC SQL. So indirectly I am providing the, because backup is generated, so backup is writing in this folder. So I just provide write. Okay, but I have on my second instance, that is my instance 1.3. so here just if you just like, if you just go through that second instance, so second instance, my second instance service account is SVC, the same service account I have used for second instance also. So I will just So the second instance just reading that backup. So that's why I'm provide read write access, and again it copy and paste to the folder and again restore. So the same thing I'm doing, I'm here also. I just create a log backup folder on second instance also, and I provide the same edit and add it here, SQL lab, just check it. Okay, suppose if you just go through, it is not searching SQL, not searching for the SQL lab, the SQL DBA. Okay, because the group is SQL DBA, so I just allowed it here. Okay, so sorry, so I just security, I've just added SQL lab here, and I'm just sharing this folder also for the SQL DBA group. So this is done. Now I'm going to show you how can, like, I'm just connecting my SQL node 1. You can find out here which is node. So here if you just see that is, and I type the host name, that is node 1 here. So always that LogShipping support from, like, we can, if the version of SQL instance lower to higher, like if it is lower version like SQL 12 and node 2 is upper version like SQL 16, so it will support, but not support from like upper to lower. And LogShipping support, the recovery model of LogShipping should be full or bulk log. It not supported simple recovery model. So it is necessary that it is, you must keep in mind that what recovery model we have used for LogShipping. So now I just go to just create a new database. So I just created a new database here, that is testdb. Testdb is my database I have just created here. Okay, so in that database there is nothing, it is totally blank. So now I'm going to set up a LogShipping here, and the SQL version I have chosen here, that is evaluation version. Okay, you can verify the version using select @version. You can verify this. This is the my version. I'm using 2019, so you can just check out here. So this is my 2019 version. Okay, enterprise edition SQL. So I just, now I'm just going to establish a LogShipping. Here my environment is like domain environment. I have created a domain and I have joined node 1 and node 2 with domain. So you can check out here, if you just suppose, if you just ping that node 1 here, you can just see that. Okay, here basically it is showing just a minute, because I think here the okay, but don't know why it is been Okay, so here it is pinging that's let okay. Okay. Okay, no, so we can check it here. Suppose we just ping from here node 1, node 1. It is showing 1.2. So self pinging, if I just ping the self node, it is now showing the local one. So don't this is not an issue, so it's okay for me. So I'm just going to establish a connection. So I just right click here and just go to the, so first we check that what the recovery model it is. So if you just check that option, it's a full recovery model. You can also check from where, you can check from select star from sys databases. Okay, so here you can check it. So what is the test? This is the, you can check it here. This is the test model here. Okay, and sys.databases, not sys.databases. Here you can check it, that okay, here you can see that what's a recovery model. Okay, so there are multiple things that either you can right click on the database here, go to the property and find the option, you can see, or using command that is select star from sys.databases, you can find out the recovery model description. Here you can find out the recovery model. So this is the way of to find the database recovery model. So let's establish the configure the LogShipping. Here we can find the option the ship transaction log. We just click on that ship transaction log, just click on it, enable. This is a primary server. So look, there are two type of LogShipping here model, you can say. First one is like recovery, and second one is a standby. Okay, I just show you here. I just given a node 1 dot log backup. I just given the path. This is the path of log backup. So here is a schedule. I am just reducing the schedule to 5 minutes. Okay, so just click on OK. Now I am adding my secondary server. So this is my primary one and this is my secondary one. I just added the primary. Here you have, if you find here you have find out three options. That is, do you want to management? Here the backup is generated. If like backup is generated and it restore on the secondary instance. Okay, second option, yes, restore an existing backup of primary database into secondary database and create the secondary database if it does not exist. Means here we creating the backup and the backup will restore the secondary instance and we have to specify the data and log. Here what we did, like we restore the backup where. Okay, so here we just give the path of the backup and it will restore the secondary backup, secondary database. And no secondary database initialize, no the secondary database here the third one is saying that we already did this, means we have taken the full backup, we have taken the transaction log backup, and we just restore the full and transaction log backup on secondary instance. So you can choose any of them. I'm choosing here that first option, so I just given here. If you want that third one, I will show you. So for third one, I just create the backup first. I just created the backup. I just delete. Okay, so backup I've just created on test tb full dot back. I've just created the backup and just okay. Now I just created the transaction log backup. So here just change the transaction log, just remove it and add it. Now just click on here, just click test tb tran.trn. I just click on it. So now it is done, backup is done here. Now I just copied I'm just connecting my SQL instance second. So this is my SQL instance second. I just connected it here, and now I am accessing node first, node 1 dot log backup folder. I am just accessing it and just copy this backup. I am manually doing this. I just copy this backup and just come to this same folder. I have just paste it here. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm just restore a database. Okay, here and just restore the database. Log backup test 1. I just click on test 2 and trn. Both database have restored. So here just check out. If you want to relocate, you can relocate an option here. Replace. There is no way, no need to replace. And here restore with recovery, restore with non-recovery and standby. So here basically that no recovery. So like configuring the database with standby mode. If we configuring the database is standby mode, then you can choose restore with standby. Otherwise you can choose no recovery model. So I just choose the no recovery and just click OK. Means it is in restoration state and it is waiting for the next log. So now just come to the point at here. Second, I just connecting my first database. So here I've just already did it. Okay, copy. So where the secondary, like backup is created on primary. So once the backup is created, the backup is copied to secondary database, secondary server, who copy the, here I am using the SQL agent service account, that SVC SQL. So it just access that backup file and just copy to that folder. So this is the path of it, is log backup. So there must be no confusion. Log backup, if you this backup here, it is on the secondary server. Okay, so if you just copy, if you change that to 5 minute transaction, look, there is a two model. I already told you that no recovery mode and standby mode. So the tough file is only created in standby mode, it is not created on no recovery model. So for database restoration, I have also changed it here to 5. Let's start the OK. The specified database does not exist, you must choose the initialization. What is saying? Okay, so why this message coming? The secondary database is initialized. It is already initialized. Okay, so the specified database does not exist. You must choose initialize option to create the database and restoring a full backup of primary. Okay, so I just do one thing. So first, just a minute. So I just do one thing. I just cancel it and I again start this, like shipping, enable setting, backup, node 1 log backup, C colon log backup. Okay, schedule it to 5 minute. Okay, add my secondary instance, connect it, choose on this one, copy C colon log backup restoration scheduled 5 minutes. Okay, okay. Now I just click on OK. So that is done. So there must be no confusion, because that one I have just okay. So here it is in restoring state. Now I just do one thing. I am just creating my table here. Okay. So I just click on here. Choosing the int. I just save it. Okay, so I just create that table and I just refresh it. Now on the same table I just go to the edit and I am just insert some name here. So I just type some name here. So I've just added few name here and I can see that there are few job. If you just see that there is a backup job, you can just start it here. Succeeded. Now just see it here. Copy only job, just start it. Okay, so you can check out here. Look at here, 2 file is generated on node 1. Let's visit the node 2. This is my node 2 and just check it here. The same 2 file is here. Copied. Just check that restoration job. This is two jobs is going on. If you want to check that status, there is a DM view. Just connect the DM view. You just go to the report. There is a transaction log shipping status. You just click on the transaction log shipping status. So here you can verify that it's a good, and this is the overall things. And also you can check out there are table. First we just check the table here, and there is a store procedure also. So just check at the table, MSDB. Okay, so there is a table that select a star from log underscore shipping. Just choose the station MSDB. Log underscore shipping underscore monitor primary. If you just run it, you can see that this is my primary node, this is my test. Backup threshold is 60. Threshold alert, this is the alert, last backup, and this one. Okay, now I'm just at the same command. If you want to check it, try to run on my secondary instance. So if you check that secondary instance, my is it here, you just secondary, there is a for secondary. So this is the table here, no to test, this is secondary, and you can see last is toted and this one. Okay, so for database backup level, I can show you. There is a document for database backup level. Show you. It is opening here. So if you just check out here, this is the theory of the log shipping. Okay, this I already told you. Secondary, yeah, this one, log shipping monitor primary, log shipping monitor secondary. Okay, there is one more table I show you. This is called select a star from log shipping primary databases. You can check it. This showing the detail of primary databases, that this is the backup directory, this is the backups here, Okay, this is the backup job ID and giving that backup detail. Okay, and the similar thing you can find out at your secondary instance. If you just go through here, this is my secondary instance MSDB. You can check out, but just change the database to secondary, right? Okay, LogShipping primary secondary, this is not running. You can choose the secondary only. If you just choose running this, it's giving the all the detail. So basically we have 4 table. First one is LogShipping underscore monitor primary. The second one is same table, but here just we need to add the secondary. It's a secondary. Okay, and third in the database, LogShipping primary databases, and for secondary LogShipping secondary, that one. So this is the 4 table which is need to running here. There are store procedure also. You can find out here those store procedure. I will show you. So just first click the first store procedure, that just click the master one, that is sp underscore help underscore log underscore shipping underscore monitor. You can execute this one. This is the one of the store procedure. It's showing the LogShipping detail sp underscore help underscore LogShipping underscore monitor. There is another one, sp underscore help, similar one. Yes, we put that primary. Here we have to just specify this few parameter, that primary server name node. Here we just specified the primary server name. You can just put out the primary server name. So my primary server name is node1 dot SQL log1. This is my primary server name. Yeah. Now if you just executing this same, here it is asking the primary databases. Put comma, and databases is a test DB. Okay. So this is my command, sp underscore help LogShipping monitor. The same command you can find out using store procedure, with the detail you are getting from log underscore shipping underscore log underscore shipping underscore monitor primary. the same detail you are getting here. So if you just test out the same command to secondary server, you are just go through here. Only you have to change that secondary server here. Just change the secondary server node to database name is, change the secondary database. Only change the secondary database. Oh, secondary server. Just execute it, you can find out. Okay.